over in your school?
No, ma'am.
No. Then, Zikra, what about you?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Is this chapter over?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Then where are rest of them? Sony ma'am?
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you inform them?
What, ma'am?
Can you inform them to come to class?
Okay.
We'll wait for a few minutes, okay? Then we'll start.
Okay, ma'am.
Everyone turn on your camera.
Okay, ma'am. My camera's already on.
Yeah, you are great. Very good. Zikra,
Ma'am, just 2 minutes.
okay, then we'll start. Next, we'll talk about the function of class monitoring. This topic was only left here, okay? For class. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what are those functions? You all can guess, right? What we have studied thus far. Movement of materials inside and outside of cells. Then, what else?
Ma'am, it's a semi-permeable membrane which allows only some particles to
Yeah, that is
pass
what
through.
I have written in this movement of materials inside and outside of cell. It is because of semi-permeable membrane and all those things you can write in this point. Only I'm writing the point, okay? Then enclosing the cell, right? Okay? What is this? Enclosing the- And protecting, also protecting because it is the outermost layer of the cell, right? It is protecting the cell from external environment. Then here all the metabolic functions happen. Metabolic, most of it. Metabolic. Then there is also communication between cells. Then lastly, maintain the shape of cell. Okay. Any doubt here, Vikram? Okay. Do you know, guys, know what is metabolism?
Ma'am, metabolism is the rate at which your cells produce energy. Hello,
Yes, yes, I can hear
ma'am.
you.
It's kind of like the rate at which the cell produces energy.
Are you outside, Advika?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm not outside, but there is like, ma'am, I'm traveling,
Oh,
and that's why I'm having connectivity issues, and I joined class late.
okay, okay. Okay, no problem, Advika. You are able to hear me, right, Advika?
Ma'am, I can hear you.
That's great. So this metabolism, it is the reactions which occur in cell, right? So there are two types of reaction. One is anabolic, another one is catabolic. Anabolic, in anabolic, what happens? There is um, joining of particles. The reactions occurs where the molecules are joined, compounds are joined, and they uh, produce a new compound like that. And in catabolism, what happens? Catabolic reactions, what happens? The it is the breakdown. So two compounds, the compounds will break down into two. That is catabolism. Like in the digestion process, what happens is the metabolism is catabolic because there is breakdown. From when we eat food, right? What happens? Like carbohydrate, all those things are broken down into simple form. Then it is converted into energy. Okay, this all many reactions all are all are metabolic. Okay, understood? Advika, Shazan, Arham.
Ma'am, can you explain that?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Hello, ma'am. This is Abhika. I understood.
You understood? Okay. Shazan, what is happening is here is in our body there will be many reactions, right? Okay. So and those reactions will occur in two ways. One is catabolism, and other is anabolism. In anabolism, there will be joining of molecules. Okay. And in catabolism, there will be breaking down of molecules. Okay. So all these are metabolism. This is the simplest way. And in metabolism, we get our energy. Okay. All
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Next, we'll go to the other topic, right? Cell wall. Okay. What is cell wall? It is present only in plant cell, not in animal cell. Okay. Okay. Advika, Shazan.
Understood.
So where it is present in plant cell we contain plasma membrane also and cell wall also. So suppose this is plasma membrane and outside that the outer covering is cell wall.
Cell wall.
Yes, like that. Understood? Okay. Now this cell wall is rigid. Okay, and it is non-living.
Good evening,
Okay.
ma'am.
Oh, good evening, Razi. Turn on
Yes.
your camera.
Okay, ma'am.
Rigid means it is firm. Okay. And now, so plant cell wall, it is made up of cellulose. See, this is cellulose. It is organic compound made up of glucose unit. Many glucose unit. It is poly. Understood, Sezam?
Understood.
Once more can you explain?
Okay. So plant cell wall is composed of cellulose. It is organic polymer. Now polymer means it means poly many. So many joining of many glucose unit will get our cellulose. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
So this is the composition of plant cell. Then fungi and bacteria, they too have cell wall, and fungi cell wall, it is called as chitin. And this bacteria cell wall, some bacteria have cell wall, and it is called peptidoglycan. Okay, understood?
No, ma'am.
No?
Can you explain it again?
So we have in plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay. In fungi, it is made up of chitin, and in bacteria, it is made up of peptidoglycan.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll talk about the function of this cell wall. Okay. What does this cell wall do, right? In living plant cell, what happens? When water is lost to osmosis, there will be shrinkage. Like the cell will shrink. So what will happen? When cell shrinks, the contents of the cell will move away from the cell wall, and this is called plasmolysis.
Ma'am, can you explain it again?
When living plant cell loses water, it will shrink, right? Huh? Through osmosis, it will shrink. So the cell wall, right? The cell content will move away from the cell wall. This process is called plasmolysis. Like suppose this is the cell wall, all the content will move away from the cell wall. Yeah. So this is called plasmolysis. Living plant cell loses water through osmosis.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, what will we call the cell when it is shrink? We will call it a spring cell, or it's a particular name.
It is plasmolyzed cell.
Plasmolyzed cell. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Contents. Only living cell absorb water by osmosis. This is the answer.
Only which cell, ma'am?
Only living cell absorb water by osmosis. Only living cell. Non-living cell, they don't absorb. So cell walls of the plants, they whenever there is like mainly water coming inside the cell, what will cell wall do? It will withstand the pressure, and it will give its own pressure. Because of that, the cell will not burst. Okay, this is the main function of cell wall. This of plants to withstand hypotonic. This is called hypotonic, right?
Ma'am.
What happens in hypotonic solution? In hypotonic condition, what happens? Razi,
Yes, ma'am.
what happens in hypotonic?
Ma'am, the cell loses water.
What will happen to the cell?
Ma'am, it will shrink.
That is hyper.
Oh, then it will swell.
Yeah, any two of these things. Okay. So what will cell wall do? Suppose water is coming more and more and more and more and more. What will happen? It,
Will it use will it swell or something?
yeah, it will swell. When water is coming inside the cell, it will swell. It might burst, but plant cell has cell wall. So what will happen? It will not burst.
It will not burst.
Yeah, because it will give pressure from the cell wall and pressure from the when water is coming, right? There will be pressure, right? It will cancel out, so there won't be any pressure, and cell wall won't burst. No, I mean cell won't burst. Understood? Understood. Then Shazan,
Yes, ma'am.
understood? This,
Ma'am, a whole I didn't understand. Little bit understood.
what did you didn't understand?
Or the cell wall.
The cell wall. So what is happening here is when water comes inside the cell wall, I mean cell, inside the cell will swell. It might burst. So what will the cell wall do? It will stop it. It will give its own pressure. There is pressure coming from outside and cell wall is also giving pressure. So what will happen? Both the pressure will get cancelled. Okay? And because of that, cell will not burst. This prevents endoosmosis,
Okay, ma'am.
main function of cell. Okay. Next, then other thing is provides rigidity and shape the cell. Also, it protects the cell from any injuries. And from attack from pathogens. Pathogen means pests or microorganisms which infect the cell.
Ma'am, like virus and bacteria.
Yes, all those things. And insects also. Okay. Okay. These all are the function of cell wall. So we have completed cell wall, right? Now next we'll go to the nucleus. Nucleus is before we go there, Advika, did you understand?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I understood.
Zikra, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Shazan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Arham?
Yes, ma'am.
Arham, tell me the main function of the cell wall.
It's for protecting the cell and also preventing the cell from burst. When
Yes.
things when it swells up, it will try to burst, but the cell wall applies pressure, so it'll keep it. It won't let it burst, and
Why will it burst?
because it will start swelling.
Why will it swell?
When something I don't remember that part.
Ma'am, because of osmosis.
Yes, osmosis. What type of osmosis?
Ma'am, hypotonic.
I don't know.
Ma'am, shouldn't it be hypertonic?
It is hypotonic. No?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And this osmosis is called endoosmosis. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Shazan, tell me about function of plasma membrane. Shazan,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, tell me about function of plasma membrane.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, plasma membrane is a semi-permanent membrane, and it allows only some particles to go through it, and it protects it from outer environment. Okay, it protects the inner part from outer environment. Means the cell from outer environment.
And one more point for cell wall. Cell wall is not permeable. I mean, it's not selectively permeable. It is permeable. That is the difference between this cell wall and plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is selectively permeable. It is delicate and it is living. But cell wall, it is rigid. It is selectively permeable and it is non-living. Understood, everyone? Now we
Yes,
go
ma'am.
to the nucleus. Okay, and here nucleus has double layer covering. The nucleus has double layer covering. There will be double layer covering, two membrane, and that is called nuclear membrane.
Ma'am, nuclear membrane and nucleoplasm.
Nucleoplasm, it's like cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm is like a fluid matrix, right, inside the cell, and nucleoplasm is the fluid matrix inside the nucleus. Okay. Now nuclear membrane or envelope, can say anything. It's like plasma membrane, right? nuclear membrane, it's outermost orbital of the nucleus, and it is double layer. It has two layers, and it also has four. There will be four, and it is called nuclear core. Uh, to this core only, what will happen? The substance, anything from inside the nucleoplasm will get outside, and it will go to cytoplasm. And what will happen from cytoplasm? Any materials will come inside in the nucleoplasm to the nuclear core. Everyone understood? Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood.
Yeah, Advika, what did you not understand? Just tell me. Nuclear core?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, I don't understand what nucleopore is.
Okay, nuclear core is a hole which is present in the nuclear membrane.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so any material from this is cytoplasm, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So any materials, it will transport, it will move from cytoplasm to the nucleoplasm, and from the nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
And next, we have this nucleus. It contains chromosome. It's very important. Okay, chromosome. It is rod-shaped structure.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, chromosomes is the reason why we resemble our parents.
Yeah, it has gene.
Okay, ma'am.
This chromosome has DNA which has gene. Okay, now this chromosome, we can see only when cell is about to divide. During its growth stage, when it is dividing, right, then only we are able to see chromosome. Otherwise, we'll see chromatin. I'll tell you about chromatin also. This chromosome, what will it have? It will have DNA, and this DNA will have gene, and gene is functional segment of this DNA. This gene is functional segment of DNA. Here only all the inheritance, everything, how you will resemble, all this thing will be in gene. Okay, you can say it like this: chromosomes contain information for inheritance of character. Like if you will have the blue eyes, black eyes, or your hair will be curly, or it will be straight. All those characters you will get it from your parents, and it will be present in the gene, right? Which is contained in the chromosome, right? That's why I have written like that.
Ma'am, I think there's 23 of them, right?
What?
I think
Yeah,
there's 23 of them.
Yeah,
Ma'am, 23 pair of them.
yeah. And what is the full form of DNA? Can anyone tell me? Arham, I think you know.
I think I don't remember.
What is that? Deoxyribonucleic acid. The full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, now this chromosome will only be present when cells are dividing. When it is not dividing, it will be present as chromatin. It is the mass thread-like structure. It's like this. Okay, it's
Ma'am,
like
like jumbled wires.
yeah, it is tangled. It is
Yes.
tangled thread-like structure, and that is our chromatin. Why I am writing the chromatin? Shazan,
Yes, ma'am.
what is chromatin?
Ma'am, a chromatin fiber is present in DNA. That the DNA, ma'am, it is like a substance which gets contracted when it gets in.
What did I tell? Shazan, you're there. Turn on your camera, Shazan.
Ma'am, my camera. Okay. Ma'am, so chromatin fiber and chromatin is different.
Yes.
Okay. Stand on me.
So
Can I
this
answer?
chrom.
I thought chromatin and chromatin fiber are same. Actually, my teacher taught me about chromatin. I can remember it partially. It is a material which chromosomes of organisms are made up of. Is it so?
So this chromosomes, when cells are not dividing, the chromosomes will be present. When cells are, when cells are dividing, chromosomes will be present. When it is not dividing, chromatin will be present. And this chromatin will be thread-like structure. It will be in masses. It will be entangled, right? Entangled with each other. And it will contain your DNA. Chromosome will only be present when the cells are dividing. We can see in the microscope clearly. And here this chromatin, what will it have? It will have same thing, DNA and the gene. Everything will be present here also. But
Ma'am,
this chromatin will be thread-like structure.
ma'am, I have a question.
Hmm.
Ma'am, when chromatin divides and becomes chromosomes,
Yes.
ma'am, the structure will remain as the
No. It will be like this, something like this. I'm not drawing it perfectly, but Y shape is like this.
It's something like an X type of shape, but like
Yeah, X. Yeah. Okay. It looks like X, right? I think it looks.
yeah, but like the middle part is a little more stretched out.
Yes, ma'am. It will be actually a
More.
like this. There is.
My drawing is not.
No,
I don't need to draw this. No need.
Ma'am, first you draw one oval, then draw another one.
Yeah. Okay. 1 minute.
Like this.
Okay. Now, every parts I have said about chromosomes, right? One more thing is there. Yeah, nucleus. Nucleolus. There is one more part, nucleolus. Okay. What will happen here? Here, there will be this this synthesizes ribosomes. Here. And this ribosomes forms protein. This is our nucleus. Now we can talk about the function. Okay. What are its functions? It controls. It is central part, right?
Ma'am, it's like brain in our body.
Yes. And there is also dividing part also. It happens here, right? Reproduction of cell. All the cell activities. It controls all the cell activities. Then also ribosome is formed here, right? And ribosome, what it synthesizes? It synthesizes protein. So these all are the function of nucleus. Next we have our cellular reproduction aspect. This it determines development and maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. Yeah, this transmission straight from parents to offspring because it has chromosomes, right? Understood? This one, it helps in transmission of hereditary traits from parents to offspring. Why? Because the nucleus only contains the chromosomes, and inside that we have our DNA, and inside that we have our gene, where the characters are inherited, right? So these all are the function of the nucleus. In the next class, we'll talk about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Yeah, before that, I have to ask you guys, right? What are the function of nucleus? No, first we'll talk about the parts. Shazan, tell me parts.
Ma'am, what should I tell you?
Yeah, tell me the parts of the nucleus.
Ma'am, again, actually, I watched from the show.
They are nuclear membrane, nuclear pore, then chromatin, that is chromosome, then nucleolus, all this. And one more thing, in the next class, what you all guys are going to do is you are going to take your NCRT textbook and from page 57 to page 60. What will you do? You will read that, then you will make questions.
Ma'am,
Okay, you'll make your own questions and answers. What will happen in next class is you can ask the question. Suppose Razi is making question. Razi will ask question, and Arham and Saizan, whoever raises their hand first, they will get the chance to answer, and for that they'll get points. Okay, for answering the question, there will be 2 points. You can keep it as 2 points. Okay, like
So,
that.
ma'am, we all have to make questions.
Yeah, you all have to make questions.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I thought that only I was.
No. Shazan, Arham, and all Advika. This is the activity for next class. Okay? After completing cytoplasm, we can do that.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, like in prokaryotic and eukaryotic, which is the more developed one? Ma'am, I'm confused.
Prokaryotic. No, eukaryotic.
Eukaryotic is more developed than
Yes.
prokaryotic.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. In the next class, we can discuss about that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Any doubts, Arham?
No, ma'am.
Shazan? No doubts, right? Razi, you too? Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.